How's it going? This Weekend Handicapper from weekendhandicapper.com. In this video, we're going to provide picks and analysis for the 2021 Belmont Stakes at Belmont Park, a race that is looking to be pretty interesting. So I'm excited about this race. We have a field of 8, and it occurs on Saturday, June 5th. They're going a long mile and a half around the Big Sandy there in Belmont, New York. So let's check each horse one by one, and at the end of the video, I'm going to give you how I'm going to play this race, who I'm going to bet, and what kind of tickets I'm going to play. Now, if you like the Belmont Stakes, if this is one of your favorite Triple Crown races, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you hadn't already, I appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, so that way you get all the latest tips, tools, and resources to help you win some money on thoroughbred horse racing. All right, number 1, Bourbonic by Todd Pletcher, trained by Todd Pletcher. 15-1 morning line. Now, a couple things as we go along this video. A couple years ago, I put out a video of Belmont, like a general Belmont Stakes tips and strategies video. I'll put a link in the description below and in the card up here in this video. That way you can see some general trends that have been shown to be effective. One of those major trends is the inside post positions. The inside post positions have done really well in the Belmont Stakes. Should that be your only reason to bet Bourbonic? No. But it's trained by Todd Pletcher, and he's been shown to get his horses ready for the Belmont. Todd Pletcher does really well in the Belmont. His horses, I should say, do really well in the Belmont. So you got inside post, you got Todd Pletcher training Bourbonic, definitely underneath in your exactas, trifectas, and superfectas. And who knows, it might win as well. So if you like that horse, don't be afraid to bet it, that's for sure. It's got multiple angles going for it. And 15-1 morning line. Number 2, Essential Quality. If y'all watch my videos, you know I'm a big fan of EQ. EQ, even in the Kentucky Derby, I had a lot on Essential Quality. I had future bets. I had a nice win bet and got a bad trip. Probably could have ran from Kentucky to Florida because it covered so much distance. So now that it's rested, it skipped the Preakness, of course. I think hopefully we'll get the real Essential Quality, have a much better trip. It's got an near the inside post position, which is a factor. Trainer Brad Cox, from day one, it seems like, said this is a Belmont Stakes horse. So he's always been confident that Essential Quality fits well in the Belmont Stakes. I have to agree with Brad Cox. I've won some money with Brad Cox's horses, and I lost some money trying to beat Brad Cox's horses. If he's confident, and if he says, hey, this is the race that Essential Quality is meant for, even before he even had success with Essential Quality, then I have to believe that. I don't believe everything trainer says, but I'm a fan of Essential Quality. Essential Quality's from Tapit. Tapit is phenomenal with his runners in the Belmont Stakes. Luis Saez is riding really well. So 2-1 morning line, morning favorite though, but definitely a contender. I think hopefully Essential Quality can have some redemption. Number 3, Rombauer. That horse surprised me in the Preakness. I'm still, hey look, it ran a great race. Much respect to Rombauer. Typically, closers don't do well in the Belmont. A lot of people think just because it's a mile and a half that it should favor closers because the front runners will get tired. Not necessarily so. The front runners hold their own. They do really well in the Belmont. But hey, that was my play against Rombauer in the Preakness, and it didn't work out. He made me look like a fool, look silly. So it could happen again, but I'm going to try to beat number 3, Rombauer. The thing to think about is those horses that have either skipped all 3 or the Preakness and the Derby have done pretty well in the Belmont. And the horses that skipped the Preakness but ran in the Kentucky Derby, and you got some major players that fit that category. that raced in the Kentucky Derby but skipped the Preakness. They've done really well. So that's another play against Rombauer. Much respect to Rombauer. His connections is a great story. Anybody that had Rombauer in the Preakness, congratulations. But I'm still not sold on Rombauer. So I'm going to try to bet against it at 3-1 especially. And the fact that it's a closer, the running style I don't think fits as well as others here. Number 4, Hot Rod Charlie. Here's one of those horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby. Ran well in the Kentucky Derby. Finished third. As of now, he might get moved up to first or second, excuse me. We'll see what's going on with Medina Spirit's ruling and split sample that's taken forever to come back. But Hot Rod Charlie, look, hey, this is a legit horse, that's for sure. Won the Louisiana Derby, raced well in the Kentucky Derby. He's been resting, sets pretty well here. Certainly a contender at 7-2 for trainer Doug O'Neill. Number 5, France Goldina, ran in the Preakness. I didn't know what to expect from this horse in the Preakness. I know a little bit more what to expect in the Belmont from this horse, and it's not much in my opinion. So I'm going to pass on number 5, France Goldina, the Japanese horse. Number 6, Known Agenda. I know some people were high on this horse in the Kentucky Derby. Some people debate whether or not it had a bad trip, good trip. I didn't see much wrong with it. I thought he had every chance in the world. No excuses, really, in my opinion. But 6-1 morning line, but Todd Pletcher trains this horse. That doesn't mean like that's the only reason you should bet it. The horse has to do what it has to do. The trainer can only do so much. But again, in Todd we trust at the Belmont Stakes. And also 5 of 7, the Known Agenda's been in the money 5 of 7 times. So that's consistent. So if you're not going to bet it to win, certainly including your Zactus, Trifectas, and Superfectas. Number 7, I Rock Your World. Rock Your World got rocked coming out of the gate at the Kentucky Derby. Didn't even have a shot. And I felt bad. Look, I was playing against Rock Your World. I was going to try to beat it, but we didn't even get a chance to see what Rock Your World could do, if it was legit, if he's a for real horse or not. So I bet by far the worst trip any horse had in the 2021 Kentucky Derby. Rock Your World had it. He got rocked, and that ain't good. But what could be good is the Belmont Stakes for Rock Your World. Been resting up a little bit, should get an easier trip. Also, the number 7 post position has shown to be very successful in the Belmont Stakes. Again, check out my Belmont tips and strategies video I did. And don't be afraid to bet Rock Your World. He's got the right running style. He's coming off a nice rest. He'll get a better trip. He's got Joel Rosario, who's a hell of a jockey. Definitely Rock Your World at 9-2 is a contender. And I'm looking forward to see what Rock Your World can do. Hopefully it's an impressive performance. And number 8 Overtook, another Todd Pletcher horse. Another one you should give it some attention to just because it's Todd Pletcher. 20-1 morning line is another reason to give some attention to. I'm not saying this horse could win. It's been a consistent horse. Was second in the Withers, or third in the Peter Pan Stakes. So if you're looking to beef up the prices of Exactas, Trifectas, Superfectas, I say use these Todd Pletcher horses. Even though they might not win, they certainly could win. But at least if you could get one of those or 2 of those in your Exactas or Trifectas or Superfectas and beat horses like Rombauer, Hot Rod Charlie, Essential Quality, Rock Your World, then it's going to pay, right? And that's what you want. Even though you might not think that's what's logically going to happen, from a betting perspective, to try to really maximize your return on investment, that's kind of how you got to think. Maybe have 1 or 2 horses that you like that can logically win, realistically win, and beef it up underneath in the second position with horses like Bourbonic and Overtook or Known Agenda that probably is going to beef up your exacta prices. All right, so how am I going to bet the 2021 Belmont Stakes? I think this race is very intriguing, very interesting. I like these contenders. I know many horses such as Mandaloon's not running and different ones skip the race that, you know, we would like to see a lot of these rematches. But we do got a few in here that's going to throw down again, just like they did in the Kentucky Derby. And I'm excited to see it. And so we're going to get a good race, I think. But who am I going to pick? I think, I don't want to be, it's the morning line favorite, I know, but all signs point to Essential Quality being the horse to beat. It's 2-1 morning line. I don't know if it'll get much lower than that. Hope not. Hopefully it won't get below 9-5. Heaven help us if it gets 8-5. But there's good reason for it. The horse has got the pedigree. The horse has got the rest. It's got a great trainer. It's got the excuse in the Kentucky Derby of covering all that ground, and he ran a really good race. Even though it came in fourth and I was boo-hooing more that Mandaloon lost, but I thought for sure Essential Quality could be a Kentucky Derby winning horse. It's a shame the trip didn't factor, or it was a factor in it not winning, in my opinion. 4 wide, or fourth place, but it was wide most of the time. Throw out that race. Hopefully we get Essential Quality back in the winner's circle. But the price is low, no doubt. So I think the horse that really put a nice win bet on is Rock Your World. Rock Your World hopefully will offer some value that, and I think it's going to be a redemption story too. Though at least the odds dictate that's the way I'm going to play it. So win bets on the number 2 Essential Quality and number 7 Rock Your World. Both draw nice posts. Both have great running styles for the Belmont, and the pedigree shouldn't be a problem at all. Now, let's try to capitalize on those opinions, or I should try to capitalize. You form your own opinions and bet whoever you think, but I'm going to try to beef up, especially if Essential Quality wins. I might not even put a win bet on Essential Quality because the win odds might be so low. So I'm going to try to essentially beef up that the prices of a win bet by playing exactas. So I'm going to have the 2 and the 7, so Essential Quality and Rock Your World, over the 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot of horses. But again, as I always say in these videos, put different denominations, different increments on your opinions. So the low price paying, so say like Essential Quality over Hot Rod Charlie, which is a 4 horse. Put more on that combination than you do Essential Quality over the 8, which is Overtook. See what I mean? You kind of balance out those payouts, those probables, by putting different increments on each of those combinations that you think will happen. So I'm going to have Essential Quality and Rock Your World in the first position of the exacta. And I'm going to have Bourbonic because it's a good post position. It's trained by Todd Pletcher, and it could get a piece of it at a nice price at 15-1 morning up. So that's going to return a nice exact if that happens. Of course, Essential Quality, I think, is going to probably win the race, but we'll see what the 7 and 2 exacta pays, which is Rock Your World over Essential Quality. Hot Rod Charlie, I've been trying to beat this horse for the last 3 races that it's ran, with the Belmont being the 3rd race, that it's, I'm gonna bet not to win on Hot Rod Charlie, but it's certainly, I think he could factor in the exacta. So I'll see what Essential Quality and Rock Your World pays with Hot Rod Charlie in the 2nd position. So the number 4 horse, Hot Rod Charlie. Number 6, Known Agenda. It's always in the money. Well, 5 of 7 times has been in the money. Good, consistent horse, trained by Todd Pletcher. I'd be a fool not to include him in the exacta. Rocky World, I think, is going to get a great trip. We're going to see his true colors. I have faith in jockey Joel Rosario. So we'll see if he can at least, hopefully, win the race. If not, come in second behind Essential Quality. And I'm going to have that multiple times if that happens, because I think that's a very logical placing of those horses. And number 8, Overtook. I'm not a big fan of this horse, but if one of my horses, the 2 or the 7, Essential Quality or Rocky World, wins in a bomb, in this case, the 8 Overtook comes in second and is trained by Todd Pletcher, and I didn't have it, I would be upset. I would be very upset, not because I thought number 8 was a good horse and it was going to finish second. I'm always thinking what ifs. What if this happens, and what if you didn't bet this combination and it paid halfway decent? I'm not going to leave it out, right? So I got to include it. So include those Pletcher horses underneath in your exactas. So again, win bets on the 2 and the 7, probably just the 7. We'll see how low Essential Quality's odds go. But the exactas, certainly I'm using Essential Quality in the exactas. So 2 and 7 over the 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm leaving out the number 5 horse, the France Goldina horse, leaving out Rombauer, trying to take a stand against a 3-1 horse that I'm not sold on yet. And we'll see what happens. Now, who do you like in this year's Belmont Stakes? I always enjoy hearing who y'all like, who you're going to bet, what kind of bets you're going to make. So keep a few things in mind. One, typically the running style that wins is a little bit off the pace, no lone front runners, but horses that like to be up front, and you got some really good horses that fit that running style. So find those and give those serious looks to. Closers don't do that well typically. Doesn't mean they can't win, but typically they don't do well in the Belmont Stakes. I'm going to try to take a stand against those and try to get them out of the win position and out of the exactas for the most part. Todd Pletcher horses do really well. Be sure to include those. That would be probably a wise decision. And the number 7 post does really well, and you got a pretty good horse, I think, that is looking for some revenge and some redemption in the number 7 Rocky World. So that's how I see it. I would love to hear who you like in this year's Belmont Stakes. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button so you can, and that notification bell, so you get all the latest tips, tools, and resources that help you win some money on thoroughbred horse racing. Till next time, happy handicapping, smart wagering.